Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I am here tonight to bring you some more NGS playoff action. And joining me tonight is Cody Kraz. Hey, Cody.
Hey, how's it going? I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. I have been excited to do this. We've been a little separated in the playoffs, but we get to cast together this time. So that's exciting, especially for the game that we have for you guys tonight. We got Arrogant Nephalem versus Virtual Murky Slayers. And this is the 1 versus 4, Cody. Any initial thoughts?
Yeah, I was hearing about how maybe wild some of Virtual Murky Slayer's drafts get, so I'm excited to maybe see some of that. And I've been seeing a lot of Arrogant Nephilim lately, watching them up through the wildcard weekend and stuff. So I'm excited to see this matchup. Should be cool.
Yeah, me too. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket just real quick so everybody at home can see what the situation is. All right, so the matchup we have is on the top left there, Arrogant Nephilim versus Virtual Murky Slayers. And the winner is going to go on to face either Sidestep or Tickle Me Tassadar, the winner of that match, to see who's going to move on to the grand finals for Division C. So little by little, we're making our way through this bracket.
Yeah, I realized I misspoke. I got Arrogant Nephilim and Psycho Swarm conflated in my head. But yeah, Arrogant Nephilim has been a very strong person in Group C, so I'm excited to see this go.
Yeah, definitely. And they had, it wasn't a walkover in their first game. They had a little bit of a tough time in the early game, but they caught up and were able to take both games. They won 2-0 in their first round, and I believe so did Virtual Murky Slayers, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna check now to see if the teams are ready. We've got all the players here. Everybody can't wait to see what happens. Looks like both teams are ready. So, Cody, we are actually going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen as our first map. And this is my personal favorite map, so I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, my previous team's name was actually Guys Gems after Tomb of the Spider Queen, and having to pick up the gems when we were young and terrible at HOTS. It's a cool map. It's got the narrowest lane rotations in the game, so you'll see a lot of teams bouncing back and forth between usually top and mid. Strong 4-main rotations with a solo lane in the bottom for the drafts.
Yeah, and we talked about Virtual Murky Slayers, how they like specialists. And, there is definitely a playstyle with specialists on this map that could be pretty dangerous if you don't keep them in check.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at bans before the game. Virtual Murky Slayers does tend to ban out this Deckard and potentially the Joanna a lot. But speaking to the strategy you're talking about, are you alluding to the Zul solo tank?
No, not so much. Just specialist in general. You can really push some structures down because it is a small map. They can just do a lot of damage if you don't address them, I guess.
Sure. I mean, especially Nazebo, I think this is maybe his best map just because he can so easily rotate between two lanes, get stacked up, and if you make it to 20, then he's got that Vile Infection to just absolutely punish teams and fights.
Yeah, and Nazebo is a hero that Virtual Murky Slayers does like to pick. Looking at the bans real quick, though. So Arrogant Nephilim, these are definitely target bans. The Zeratul and the Anubarak are both heroes that Virtual Murky Slayers likes a lot. And then we've got the Johanna and the Deckard. So same thing right back at Arrogant Nephilim. Those are a couple of their favorite heroes as well. It's going to be Kerrigan as the first pick for Arrogant Nephilim.
Yeah, she's super strong right now, but so is Asmodean. I've been playing a bunch of him lately. He was like one of my first heroes I got into, and then I got kind of bored of him and came back after this rework, and he is super strong, and he'll be getting stacked on this map with the close rotations, with heroes in groups of 4. You're going to see a lot of value out of that Asmodean.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Asmodean made it through on Tomb of the Spider Queen, actually, because for the exact reason you're talking about, this is one of the easier maps to get those stacks. I wonder if Arrogant Nephilim might regret that later, but we'll see. Osmo still has to execute, so.
Yeah, this looks like a brutal combo composition shaping up though for Arrogant Nephilim. They've got that Kerrigan Stukov Jaina. That's a lot of CC.
Yes, that is getting scary. What tank are you thinking with that? Maybe a Diablo or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Diablo's probably their priority 1, but he's still on the board for Psychoswarm to take here too. I think also a Garrosh or Muradin's going to be just fine. They both have enough CC to set up and execute.
Yrel is one of the offlaners that Arrogant Nephalem likes. Although they've used a pretty wide variety of heroes in the offlane, from Varian, Malthael, Thrall. So wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Sonya either, although they don't play that too much. Kael'thas is taken off the table.
I think that's kind of an interesting ban. That's I didn't see Virtual Murky players having played a bunch of Kael'thas. Yeah, it's still, I don't really see that. And with the Esmond already picked, he kind of fits that mage slot, so I don't get it.
We've got ETC is going to be the tank for Virtual Murky Slayers and Raynor.
All right, actually, the more that I think about it, the more I kind of get it. Kael'thas is very anti-dive, and it looks like Arrogant Nephalem is going diving, so maybe they just wanted to take that CC assassin out.
Right. That makes sense. Especially, if they're going to be playing a lot of melee, it's tough to spread out the fire. Kael'thas is and there is the Diablo followed with the Thrall.
God, that team, there's just so much engage and so much CC on that. And, Thrall can either go with the Earthquake or the Stun. And
oh, wow.
Brutal. Rexar.
Rexar. See, I told you. Virtual Murky Slayers, they throw some heroes you're not expecting in there. What do you think, Cody?
I'm struggling. I think I don't really get it. I think that just gives Thrall free reign to stack his Crash Lightning if he wants to go that route in the bottom lane now that there's going to be 2 heroes in the bottom lane against him. But we'll just have to see if Esmond can put out the numbers to put the team on his back.
That's a really good point with the bear, Rexar and the bear. That would enable, stacking quests.
Yeah. And then on the other side, Diablo, as predicted. I think the Diablo charge into the Stukov puddle with all kinds of CC following it up from the assassins could see a lot of quick team fights, and if not, if nothing else, it's going to be a lot of dead teddy bears.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Is it better if it's dead fuzzy cows?
Well, I'm partial to Kerrigan, so I think I'm leaning a little more towards Arrogant Nephilim's comp. But if they let that Asmo get out of control and get stacked, it could get real scary in the late game.
Yeah, he even just throughout the game, I think the lane pressure he grants is tough to deal with.
For sure. So let's introduce our teams on the blue side. We've got Arrogant Nephalem. We've got Trabe on Jaina, Dakilidin playing Thrall, Kime on the Kerrigan, No Pointer on Stukov, and Diablo will be played by Segatai.
Alrighty, and then on the right side in the red, we've got the Virtual Murky Slayers. We've got Swagneros on the ETC, Sea Brisket on the Tyrande, Fake News Nate on the Raynor, a Brewer 2 on the Asmodean, and finally Silver King on the Rexar.
I know we talked about this earlier, but I love the names of the players on Virtual Murky Slayers.
It's so good.
Swagneros is fun to say.
The team name itself is great, too. Gotta love the Merkster.
Looking at talents. We do have Echo of the Elements for Thrall. They didn't go the stacking quest.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. If he's going to be playing the solo lane, that's the typical solo lane choice there. I'm not super familiar with Rexar. Is Easy Prey the typical level 1 choice?
You know what? I'm not super familiar with him either.
I don't blame you. We do have Block Party, though, on the Ragnaros. Give him a little extra sustain, maybe against the Thrall, but giving up the Prog Rock team sustain.
Yeah, that's interesting, because, like you said, normally you would see Prog Rock, so we'll change of strategy there.
Yeah, and Tyrande has gone into the mini cleanse at level 1, instead of the spell armor. seems prudent against the amount of stuns and silences and slows on the side of Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a lot of crowd control, that is for sure. So Arrogant Nephalem is doing kind of a 4-man rotation where it looks like a Virtual Murky Slayers, they're doing more of a 1-3-1 kind of?
Yeah, and they're just playing it safe. They're keeping the one split under the towers, making sure nobody steps too far up to get ganked by this roaming 4-man. I might like to see Arrogant Nephalem split off and maybe go to their spell camp here if they get ahead in their rotation.
Yeah, we do see them start. Yeah, Virtual Murky Slayers is starting their Bruiser camp. Gonna be a pretty early camp.
Yeah, and that'll just generate them some pressure. They can step up, get some damage onto the mid wall maybe. Just kind of demand a response, make it hard for Arrogant Nephalem to keep up their aggressive rotation strategy here.
Yeah, that camp can cause a lot of damage if left unattended. That's for sure.
Yeah, and also just looking at the fights, you know, Virtual Murky Slayer has drafted a comp that kind of more wants Arrogant Nephalem to come into them, which as long as they use their abilities well and don't all get gang blasted by Arrogant Nephalem, who does want to go in and find a fight.
Oh, we've got
it could work out for him.
An attempt at a gank on the Diablo in the upper lane, but Saigatai, it's out of there, no problem. Looks like Virtual Murky Slayers is going to support this camp a little in the middle. And Arrogant Nephalem actually went and got their camp as well, so they're going to clear up Virtual Murky Slayers and have their own camp, causing some pressure. How are we looking on gems, Cody?
Looks like Virtual Murky Slayers has enough to get the first turn in, and Arrogant Nephalem's just short. But Arrogant Nephalem has secured a couple micro turn-ins, whereas Virtual Murky Slayers are still holding all of their gems.
Oh no, Misha!
Half of First Blood goes on over to Arrogant Nephalem there. Looks like this mid lane getting shoved in super hard. Jaina using that spell armor to great effect.
Yeah, I mean, and the more damage they could do, that's really going to help their web weavers. They're hoping to get a turn in. We see trade turning in here, and it is going to be blue web weavers coming down for Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, that's just a good macro rotation. They demanded their response with the camp and went and turned in as soon as they saw a bunch of members of Virtual Murky Slayers show up to deal with that.
Jaina getting very aggressive in that top lane. They've already got the gate down. They're going to be working on these two towers next.
Yeah, and it looks like they might be focusing onto this top lane, which is usually the lane you win in on this map, given that the boss is in the top lane. Gives you kind of a secondary victory condition along with the gem turn-ins.
Showing the talents again real quick. Both teams at level 7, even talent tiers.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything super surprising there. Yeah, everything looks fairly meta. I like a different talent when I play Asmodean at the 4, though. I like taking the additional time and armor on the single demon rather than the double. I think this will work just fine.
Yeah, Arrogant Nephalem takes out that top fort. So that's you were talking about that being the win lane. So that's actually pretty huge for them this early.
Yeah, it's going to give them a big experience lead and just kind of open up the map in their favor, making those ganks going to be that much easier to find.
Just wanted to say hello to Monkus Beaver and Knight725 in Twitch chat. I see your comments there about Arrogant Nephalem clearing the camps really fast because they have Jaina and Kerrigan. That's very true. They also cleared the bottom fort and took out Rexar. Kerrigan, Kime just diving in, doing a lot of damage on that Kerrigan.
Yeah, ate some CC in return. Got chunked out a little bit by the Rainer, but there's not enough there to follow up and get the kill. And now 10s are online for Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, so it is going to be the Ring of Frost for Jaina. It's going to be the Lightning Breath for Diablo. And Thrall is going to use Earthquake, so that's going to be pretty scary. It's going to make it really hard for Virtual Murky Slayers to get away from all that melee damage coming in from Kerrigan and
Yeah, it's gonna be
Diablo.
brutal. The whole combo, you know, you'll see Diablo going on someone. As soon as their response happens, they'll Earthquake, and then the Ring of Frost will be just basically unable to be missed, and it'll just get even more brutal from there.
And it is going to be the new summon Ultralisk heroic for Kerrigan, so that'll be fun. If she's able to hit an enemy player, it will stun them briefly.
I think that mostly makes sense. You know, they want to be getting the damage out onto Raynor, out onto the Tyrande, and I think assimilation maybe makes a little more sense against the more melee comp.
Got to kill it in on the Thrall, grabbing that bottom camp. Arrogant Nephalem has turned in again.
Yeah, without 10s, Virtual Murky Slayers was not able to contest that turn-in. And now we have the snowball starting here as Arrogant Nephalem picks up their second turn-in, and they'll look to get the next 2 forts with these Web Weavers.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get the top and bottom forts with their first round.
Right, yeah.
What do you think they're going for here? Do you think they could actually threaten a keep?
Given the bot lane is so far pushed back, I don't think they'll be directly able to contest bottom. But they'll absolutely take this and probably either step up with it or pressure on top, get a keep wall with it.
Yeah, it does look like Arrogant Nephalem is going to move and push in the top lane. I mean, if they could get the wall even, and nothing else, that would still be pretty great in the top lane.
Yeah, really, it just guarantees that that top boss takes a keep when they go get it. I don't know that they'll get enough experience with this push to get 13s and basically get a free boss, but it is going to put them pretty far ahead.
Right, if they are able to get even just one pick, I would expect them to go back and grab the boss.
And I might have been wrong. Taking a peek at the bottom lane, Web Weaver and the camp is doing a lot more pushing than I anticipated. That's going to put some serious damage on
he Ring of Frost gets 4! Oh, and Kerrigan got caught in the Raynor ultimate and goes down.
I think that's 100% worth death, though. They're just buying time. That bottom keep is going to fall.
Yeah, Diablo falls. You're right. Definitely worth. They had that camp pushing in with the Web Weaver and got a keep out of it.
Yeah, Rek'Sai is rotating down now to clean that up, and they're going to get the counter turn in to kind of help stabilize a little bit. But this feels bad if you're Ritual Murky Slayers. You're down a talent tier. They're going to have free clear on your Web Weavers, and basically all this Web Weaver phase is going to do is help you stabilize bottom.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they should have, gone back a little earlier to make sure that they protected that keep. Because that's going to be a struggle the whole rest of the game.
Yep, they were caught between a rock and a hard place, because if they left top, then Arrogant Nephalem would have just taken top. They needed to find that kill quicker, but being down the levels, it wasn't able to happen.
Yeah, and they are down to talent tier 13 to 12.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Ritual Murky Slayers. The catapult's just going to lose, or the Web Weaver's going to lose the catapult in the bottom lane, and their mid Web Weaver's already cleaned up.
Yeah, great defense by Arrogant Nephalem. We did already saw the Hyperion for Raynor. It's Unleash the Boars for Rexxar. It is going to be Mosh Pit for ETC, the Starfall, and then Tide of Sin for Asmo.
Yeah, there is a lot of short range. There are a lot of short range heroes on the side of Arrogant Nephalem, so if the Mosh Pit goes off, it could get brutal. But
yeah,
I'm worried that there's too many interrupts.
Yeah, they do have a lot.
Massive shove.
And even the silence, right, from Stukov.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Even that, yeah, that's trouble. I don't think you get a whole ton of stage dive value here, though. Having lost bottom keep already, maybe they should have taken that just to have ETC kind of be your global.
We've got, I think this might be a bait. Arrogant Nephalem moving up toward the boss, kind of forcing Virtual Murky Slayers to head up toward the top lane.
Yeah, taking that bottom keep, the farthest lane from the boss, it's probably the second most valuable lane on this map, because it's going to keep forcing Virtual Murky Slayers to rotate down to the bottom lane, and that gives you openings to go try to take the boss.
So if you're virtual Murky Slayers, you're down a couple levels, you just hit the same talent tier. What are you thinking if you're them? Do you want a fight? Do you just want to kind of take your time and just keep the lanes pushed out, get another turn in? What do you think?
Yeah, right now they're taking a skeep. They're aiming for a turn in. They're trying to get a response with this camp. They're checking the boss with Tyrande there, and then they're going to see if they can get a turn in. And if they do, that's going to help them stabilize, get them caught up to within like a level of experience. But yeah, if they don't find this fight pre-16, I imagine Arrogant Nephalem just rolls boss, tries to win the game.
Yep, and here, virtual Murky Slayers, they're all turning in. They were able to stop Silver King, though, who has 37 gems. So virtual Murky Slayers wasn't quite able to finish that turn in.
Disappointed in them. I would have liked to see them step up and try to take that fight on. This is like your even talent tier fight for the next 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Although maybe they just evaluated with the Rexar. They're trying to play the long game.
There is Mosh. Ring, silence, etc is down. There's the breath from Diablo. Oh, Isha.
Yeah, with those kills, those 16s are reached by Arrogant Nephalem. Core's under attack, working on the shields there. Murky Slayers are cleaning that up, and it looks like Arrogant Nephalem is just content to step forward with their camp, and they've maybe changed their mind. Now they're peeling for boss.
Does look like they're heading that direction. They do have talent tier now. They've got their level 16s. Although virtual Murky Slayers knows because they just sent the Tyrande Owl up that direction.
Yeah, but I wonder if Arrogant Nephalem's counting alt cooldowns or not, because taking a peek, if they would have gone right there, there's no Starfall, no Hyperion, no Mosh Pit. I think that would have been a pretty easy boss if they had committed to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But as it stands, they're getting real close to another turn-in, and that turn-in probably won't get super greedy and go turn-in boss, but maybe they do. Maybe that's their victory condition here.
Yeah, they keep kind of, you know, the body language is like, we want to take this boss.
Yeah, and it's not like virtual Murky Slayers isn't showing on the bottom lane, so I'm a little confused. They're being very patient. They don't want to throw away the game. I think it's just the main plan there.
Yep, it looks like they're going to go ahead and just turn in. Not even worry about the boss. And where are they going to put the pressure? Looks like mid? And thank you, Weenus, for the Twitch Prime subscription. 6 months in a row. That's pretty amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Venus is a good dude.
He is indeed.
Looks like we've got the main force of virtual Murky Slayer's defense in the mid lane here, and bottom lane's looking like it might push core.
Yeah, Arrogant Nephalem hovering here. They're waiting for an opportunity to get one pick. I mean, one pick should secure the game for them, so virtual Murky Slayers is going to have to be a little careful. There's the ring.
Oh, Teammate just got the shields in time.
So we've got 1.5 down for virtual Murky Slayers, and the Jada and Tyrande is down as well. I think they might be able to end here. Cody, what do you think?
It's looking real close. Kerrigan did get up now with the Rexar kill. It's looking more and more certain.
Teammates taking a lot of damage is going to fall on Kerrigan. You know what? I think Arrogant Nephalem is going to have to back out.
Yeah, I was really worried for virtual Murky Slayers. Esmodian and ETC seem like they're not quite on the same page. A couple times, like the first 2 out of 3 times in that fight, Esmodian ripped the Titus in ball and just missed everything. You should be waiting for maybe a stun to get the hit confirmation on that to do the oodles of damage with his stacked Q there.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you don't give them the opportunity to move out of all that damage.
Yep, caught him at the end though.
Oh, no pointer may be in trouble here on Stukov. See,
does not have massive shove, and there he goes.
Arrogant Nephalem getting a little aggressive there, trying to grab that camp. They paid for it. A Brewer 2 has 50 gems. And we have red web weavers coming down for virtual Murky Slayers.
Yeah, again, no, I think they won't be enough to do major structure damage. There's two catapult lanes that are shoved all the way up to keep level, and then just this mid one is the only one that Arrogant Nephalem really have to defend hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can use the opportunity to get the lanes pushed back out again. It may come down to them needing to grab the boss or do something to make something happen here, because they're way behind on structure, so they've got to be itching to get some of these forts down.
Yeah, I'd love to maybe see them push bottom really hard. Maybe even set up the turn in first bottom to demand a response down there, such that when the web weavers get cleaned up, they can move top. But they're going to get some damage on this top, try to open up the top lane for the potential victory. Obviously not right now, but in the future.
Right. Yeah, web weaver's getting really low, though. I don't think they're going to get much up here. ETC diving in. There's Earthquake. There's the ring.
There's the destructive combo we were waiting to see all game.
Down. Rainer down. Jaina fell as well, but only Asmo remains. And I'm thinking this is Arrogant Nephalem marching towards the core, but let's see what they do.
Yeah, they're taking their time moving that way. I don't really know what for.
There they go. They're going to head up through top, looks like. Trying to get some minions to lead the way. But meanwhile, it's only 15 seconds, and we're going to start getting virtual Murky Slayer players back in action here.
Yeah, if you're Arrogant Nephalem, you got to really spread out here. They got to stop standing all clumped together, because Asmodean's just chunking on them. He might have scared them off.
They did. They're not going to be able to end. So, I think, yeah, if they could have committed either just a little bit faster, you know, they might have had a shot there, but willing to be patient. They're willing to be patient. I mean, Arrogant Nephalem can kind of afford to be patient, right? I mean, they've got all their forts. They've got, 2 keeps down for their opponents, so they don't really need to take any huge risks here.
Yep, they definitely have the map in a stranglehold. It's mostly blue. All their structures are still alive. They're not in any imminent danger of losing. I just also, I worry that they're not playing to win 100% right now. It's more like they're playing not to lose.
Yep, we've got Turn On Deck continuing to check to make sure Arrogant Nephalem isn't jumping on the boss. They're going to turn in what they have, but Arrogant Nephalem has quite a ways before they are going to have another turn in.
Yep, both teams are 20 now, so the last talent tier advantage of the game is gone. That advantage has evaporated.
Oh, we got a quest completed for Asmo, and here we go. The boss has been engaged by Arrogant Nephalem. Here comes virtual Murky Slayers.
Yeah, that globe doing a bunch of damage, but they're going to have to take this fight quick. There are catapults on the core, 3 of them as we speak.
Yeah.
Holy shit, the globe does so much damage.
Oh, Dekiladin is going to fall. But ETC is down as well. Thrall and ETC down. Kerrigan going in, trying to grab Nate.
Yeah, excellent penetrating round from him.
The boss leashed. What a great play by virtual Murky Slayers. They were able to... they definitely would have lost the game if that boss had gone out at that point. But Arrogant Nephalem is going to re-engage.
4 got down to 30%.
And here they come again. Virtual Murky Slayers trying to rush to this boss. It's going to be close. Nephalem is going to pick it up.
Yeah, good job zoning by the Diablo there, keeping the Asmodean out of range of being able to confirm those hits on his Q. And here comes the boss rolling down towards the core. Catapult starting to build up in the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, virtual Murky Slayers needs a huge defense here against this late game boss heading straight to their core. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, it was a noble sacrifice by Misha, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's a Kerrigan combo and a fake news Nate. He's trying to back away. Uses the penetrating round to push Kime off. Boss is on the core. The shield's falling.
There's the ring. A huge mosh pit, but pushed away by Stukov. Boss is just hitting the core. Core is going to go down. Game 1. It's going over to Arrogant Nephalem.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game, and the kills were a lot closer than I thought. 11-9 in favor of Arrogant Nephalem, but that could have been a lot uglier on the side of Virtual Murky Slayers than it was.
Yeah, so we're looking at the end game stats here, and yep, 11-9. That was actually a pretty close game, other than the structure damage. Arrogant Nephalem, they just took such a big lead with the structures. It was kind of hard for Virtual Murky Slayers to kind of crawl back into, the game. Although they did in levels. They kept up with them.
Putting up the numbers across the board there. Never died, got stacked, got a bunch of XP, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, well played. I mean, I feel like Arrogant Nephalem took a really good advantage when they had the web weavers, like those first web weavers they were able to get the top and the bottom forts, which was a really great start. Take out those structures, open the map up. But I also really think Virtual Murky Slayers, they played the late game really well, like as well as you could in the situation where you've got to deal with catapults and everything else.
Yeah. And again, I think that was sort of Arrogant Nephalem not putting an absolute chokehold on the game, but their patience was rewarded in the end, and they made it through and took the victory.
Yeah. I'm going to check to see if so the losing team gets to decide whether they want to pick the next map or have her first hero pick. So I'm going to check in right now with fake news Nate. See which Virtual Murky Slayers is going to prefer. So let's update the score here. We've got Arrogant Nephalem 1-0. This is a best of 3, by the way, for the playoffs. Looks like Virtual Murky Slayers, they want to pick the first hero. So I've got to find out from Trabe on Arrogant Nephalem what map they would like.
Yeah, I hate to hate on the Rexar pick because it's fun to see non-meta heroes, but I kind of wonder if you had a hero that maybe had a little more oomph in the team fights, if they could have maybe
done a little more, maybe gotten a little better early game.
Yeah, just if nothing else, give you a little more clear on the web weavers, because ETC Tyrande, I guess Tyrande brings some wave clear in the form of the armor reduction, but right. Rexar just kind of is there. He's CCs.
Well, he could be really good at interrupting turn-ins and things like that, but it didn't seem like they were really able to get in a position to use Misha that way. Mm-hmm. Arrogant Nephalem's debating on the map. Dun dun dun. So what do you think, Cody, as Virtual Murky Slayers? You've got your playoff hopes on the line here. What do you think is going through their minds, and how do they turn this around to take game 2?
Well, I think they can't get too down on themselves. They were in that game for a lot of it. I think if they can get the Asmodee again, that was super tasty. And maybe it's not going to be quite the perfect map the Tomb of the Spider Queen is for him, but I think he's just a very strong hero right now. Either way,
right.
A lot of things went right for him. They just, I felt like they mostly just got out macroed that game, and it led to the team fights being tough for him.
Yeah, that's fair. So, this just in breaking news, it's going to be Dragonshire.
Ooh.
So that's the map pick for Arrogant Nephalem. We need to remind them that Brightwing is banned. Remember, he asked. He's like, I'm never going to remember that. Remind me if we go to any of those maps.
It's not just a talent ban, right? It's like the entire
hero. Yeah. I'll remind everybody once everybody gets into the lobby. So we're getting the lobby set up. So meanwhile, let's take a look at chat. We've got Moist Weenus contributing some Cheers. Thank you very much for that. Monkus Beaver, Night 725, real active there. Monkus Beaver was impressed with Arrogant Nephalem seeming to be unkillable, especially with the Kerrigan.
Looks like, oh boy, this name Cavillatrest was in my boat there, complaining about Arrogant Nephalem not bossing.
Oh yeah, yeah. They played it real slow and easy, didn't they? They were just taking their time, making sure.
Yeah. I think VMS's maybe dream is Arrogant Nephalem picks up the Murky, and then they get to live up to their namesake. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
That would be so cool to see a Murky. But I mean, with that Rexar pick as an example, I mean, that just kind of illustrates that you never know exactly what you're going to get from virtual Murky Slayers. They're a little bit of a wild card, which can be kind of scary sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll be interesting too. This map kind of demands a different draft style. You know, it's more of a skirmishy map. Maybe not as many of the 5v5 team fights as Tomb, where well, I guess Tomb's a little skirmishy too with the 2 turn-ins. I don't know. I think it'll be good.
Just letting the teams know that Bright Wing is not available on this map.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any accidents. Let's see. We've got all the players. We'll see if they're ready. So, what do you guys think in chat? Do you think Arrogant Nephalem is going to take this game on Dragonshire, or do you think that Virtual Murky Slayers is going to turn the tables and take us to a game 3? Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I think my money's on Arrogant Nephalem. I know from having played them in the past, they're a darn strong team, and they mostly look it. Especially their team fight is very well coordinated. Even if they are, maybe not the most crushing macro team, they're pretty good there too. So
yeah,
tough beat.
Definitely. So here we go, straight into the draft for Dragonshire. So this time, it's going to be Virtual Murky Slayers with the first bans and the first hero picks. Do you think there's a hero they may try to grab? Do you think they might try to grab that Kerrigan away from Arrogant Nephalem, or do you think we might see a ban?
I think they've put Arrogant Nephalem in a little bit of a tough spot because, yeah, there's the Asmodean ban, and now they have to choose between the Anubarak and the Zeratul. And I think either one of those heroes might open some stuff up for Virtual Murky Slayers that they couldn't really do last game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Anubarak is massively underrated as a tank in the current meta. He's pretty anti-burst himself, and he gives you a lot of burst on your team. And then Zeratul could also just help set up for some kind of wombo combo. So, tough choice.
Yeah, the Anub, just so everybody knows, Anubarak does appear to be the favorite tank for Virtual Murky Slayers. They played him 12 of their 22 regular season games, so definitely a favorite. And actually, it's Arrogant Nephalem who's going to ban out that Kerrigan. They just, they know how powerful she is. They don't want to see her going over to their opponent.
Don't blame him. She is super strong right now, and even after the nerfs, I think she'll be the coming nerfs. I think she'll still be pretty darn strong. Stukov is the first pick. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. But maybe it'll make more sense as we see the rest of their comp, kind of.
Yeah, it could, as much as anything, just be a denial pick. Like maybe they were frustrated by seeing the purple puddle everywhere, and decided to get the kids out of the pit.
It's going to be Urel and Tyrande for Arrogant Nephalem.
Urel's so strong on this map. We should put her in the solo lane, and she just bats everybody around with a giant boopy hammer, and real tough to deal with.
Who could they send up there to challenge Urel?
I mean, obviously Malthael comes to mind. I don't know if there's a Virtual Murky Slayer Malthael
They do
player.
like Malthael. They're going to take advantage of the fact that Arrogant Nephalem did not ban those 2 heroes, and they're going to go ahead and pick them, Zeratul, and then there's the Anubarak.
Yeah, this is super scary if you're Arrogant Nephalem, because now you're looking at potentially just a gross void prison, and then as soon as you come out of it, you're in the Stukov pond.
Yeah,
it's not a place I want to be.
I feel like Zeratul is going to be really great on this map.
Yeah. He's got the whole Bermuda Triangle to shark around in.
Yeah.
He's licking his lips right now. Just give me that level 13, level 16.
Monkus Beaver wanted to see a 5 specialist comp on Dragonshire. They did play 5 specialists, Virtual Murky Slayers, that is. They did play 5 specialists in one of the regular season games this season.
It was on Tomb of the Spider Queen, though, so maybe map 3, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see, where was that comp? It was like Nazebo, Medivh, Abathur, Zul, and Gazlo.
We're probably going to see a Johanna here, I'm guessing.
It just got banned.
Oh, sorry, I did not see that. Good ban. Tychus and Arrogant Nephalem's going to stick with Diablo.
Well, Tychus will definitely be able to punish the Nubarak if he's going with aggressive burrow charges. Also, just good follow-up for the Diablo.
Actually, that Tychus is going to shred on a Nubarak. I think that's a great pick.
You know what I want to see pick 5 for Arrogant Nephalem?
What?
Leeming. Like this, that would be so perfect right here. It obviously leaves him a little weak in late wave clear, but the Tychus can set him up with the bigger they are, and then the Leeming combo to finish him off. And now you've got the pick. Leeming has her abilities again. And starts getting crazy.
They might go. I'm just trying to think. They've already got 2 warriors. Otherwise, I was thinking Varian for the taunt, but unless they're going to go triple warrior, it's probably not going to happen. Oh. It is going to happen, folks. We've got triple warrior coming out from Arrogant Nephalem. Diablo, Yrel, and Varian. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I wonder.
And only the one frontliner. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't really count Zeratul as a frontliner, but only the one solo tank, a noob.
Yep, Phoenix will be patrolling the solo lane against Yrel probably, unless they put like Varian up there or something, which I find hard to believe.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Do you like one comp over the other?
Well, I really like the Arrogant Nephalem comp until the Varian, which I think it's just a little slow. I don't know if Toronto's going to have the healing throughput. I guess she does have the Hunter's Mark to enable some stuff, and maybe it'll be a Twin Blades Varian. I guess there's nothing saying it can't be that.
Sure. Let's see who's playing what. On the blue side, we have Arrogant Nephalem. Trabe on Tychus. Tekiladin will be playing that Varian. Yrel played by Kime. No Pointer on Tyrande, and Segatai on Diablo.
Battle commencing in 10 seconds.
Then on the red, the right team is going to be Virtual Murky Slayers. We've got a Brewer 2 on the Nubarak, Seabrisket on the Phoenix, Swagneros on the Junkrat, Fake News Nate on the Zeratul, and Silver King is going to be your Stukov.
Oh. Owl to the face.
Teams roll out 5 mid each way. We've got the Lion's Maw, or no, sorry, that's not even, yeah, it is the quest. Lion's Maw talent on Varian there.
It's going to be press the advantage on Tychus. Increasing that range.
Interesting.
It's going to be hard to get back to Tychus behind 3 warriors in a team fight.
Yeah. Looks like we've got a 4-man rotating squad from Arrogant Nephalem, 2-2-1 from Virtual Murky Slayers to start. Or something. What's happening? They just swept.
You're like, something's happening. I'm not sure quite what yet. But as soon as we figure it out, we'll let you know. Oh, nice blink out.
With a quest blink out.
Yeah, that could have been real nasty.
And let loose the Dragon Knight.
Also, of note, Regeneration Master on the Nubarak. He's looking at the low damage of the triple warrior comp and says maybe I'll be able to get a little natural health value from that talent rather than the spell armor, which is probably pretty worthless here.
Yeah, that I think that's a real smart choice. Brewer 2 diving in, trying to make something happen on a noob, but everybody for Arrogant Nephalem is going to be able to back out safely.
Yeah, trade a null pointer, pick up that giant camp there, get that shoving down the bot lane a wee bit.
So bottom is going to be claimed by virtual Murky Slayers, but we do have Urel picking up the top for Arrogant Nephalem. Arrogant Nephalem not really trying to get the dragon quite yet. They do have control of both shrines.
Yeah, I think they're looking just pretty patient here. They're not in a big hurry. They're going to wait for fours. The early game is kind of in their favor, though, because, you know, the level 13 and 16 Zeratul starts getting those power spikes and starts getting really scary to deal with.
We got Phoenix up against Urel in the top lane.
Yeah. And it looks like Seabriscuit's kind of losing that lane, which is a little surprising to me, especially after the nerfs to Urel. That's usually a lane that favors the Phoenix, so I wonder if Seabriscuit's maybe a little uncomfortable on the Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a good question. It is a hero they played a pretty solid amount of times in the regular season, it looks like. 5 times, I think.
A little surprised we went back and tapped there, too. Looks like we
Big
got an
fight
engage
in the
coming
bottom.
Nash lands on the Silver King. He's backing up, had that armor reduction. He gets on out. And the turn on the
Oh,
Toronto
no pointer!
Excellent job peeling there by Segatai.
Yeah, I thought Taronda was going down for sure. Here comes Trabe on that Tychus. Putting a lot of damage on fake news, Nate. Is there a tool?
Yeah, Tychus has gone the bigger they are, so he'll be setting up the kills, but it's going to be up to the rest of the team to finish them.
Lion's Maw, is she actually going CS? The answer is yes, indeed. Here's a look at the talents. Those that are interested.
Yeah, everything's looking fairly standard. I'm a little surprised by Bed of Barbs in the new brack. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more of the bigger burrow charge, but I guess even to the triple warrior comp again, it's just kind of an adjustment to the longer, slower fights rather than a single bursty output.
Right. Ooh, Urel just putting a lot of damage out on Seabriscuit on that Phoenix in the top lane.
Excellent. Well, kind of mistimed their stuns there on Null Pointer and Segatai. It's going to let Silver King get on out. Noob's out of mana.
So we've got 3v3 down here in the bottom. You're absolutely right. And I think this is going to be Varian picking up the Dragon Knight. In the middle, here we go.
Yeah, we'll see where it takes him. Might take some on mid here. Might roll it down bottom. Looks like he is going to step up and take a tower or two in mid. Zeratul going to do his best to keep the minions out of the picture. But it's tough when you're a melee hero to go up against that Dragon Knight, so he's going to take a step back, wait for the cavalry to get here.
Makes sense. And I would expect they'll probably move off to a different lane as soon as they get this tower finished. Heading bottom.
Yeah. And Noob's splitting off to clear top, so you could have a numbers advantage for Arrogant Nephalem here, depending on how the rotation works. Still 20 seconds left on that Dragon Knight. It's stepping up. It's looking like this wall is a goner.
Yeah, well done. Both walls looks like are gonna fall.
Yeah, with Tychus's auto attack speed, like, people don't always think about how much just straight up siege damage he can do if he gets to stand still and just really gnaw on something.
Yeah. That's true. So Arrogant Nephalem, you know, basically taking down some walls, setting up the dragon, pushing later.
Yeah, and again, they're ahead in the macro game, even though they haven't won a team fight outright yet. You know, still 0 kills to 0, but they're finding themselves almost a level ahead in experience.
Hey, you're right. We don't have first blood, do we?
Nope. No bear to fall early this time.
Arrogant Nephalem clearing up the siege camp here. Trying to enable their siege camp to push in on this bottom fort.
Do you have any thoughts on Victory Rush at 7 for Varian?
That's kind of interesting. Let's see. I'm pulling up the talents again so everybody can see what we're talking about. Victory Rush. Next basic attack heals him for 518 health.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one picked before. Looks like we have the Odin popped out. They're going to siege down in this bottom fort. Got the extra armor to help with the siege. Nubrak moving up on the Odin.
Zeratul going in doing tons of damage to Killadin. Trying to go in after Zera. I thought might fall on the Varian, but not so.
Tens are here. Is he going to be able to blink? Oh, the stun.
Oh no, Pointer is just... Oh, there's the VP, but it's right by their wall. Oh, beautiful follow up with the Riptire. We've got Junkrat taking out Tychus. And that's probably the hero you want to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of puts Arrogant Nephalem, in a position where they're not going to do tons of damage until they get their Tychus back.
Yeah, damage numbers are pretty even between Tychus, Varian, and Urel, but Tychus is definitely the top damage dealer on that squad so far.
You have Arrogant Nephalem securing both shrines, but Virtual Murky Slayers is making sure nobody can sneak that dragon in the middle.
And it looks like Stukov securing that camp to help Phoenix out in the top lane since he's getting bodied by the Urel up there. Oh, Yarl gets booped.
Oh! Oh, wow, they got it.
There's the jump, and he gets cleaned up. Now it's 1-to-1 in kills. And
so, Cody, what do you think? You think that Stukov maybe should have left the camp and helped them in the middle? I don't know. I don't know if that camp was worth that.
Yeah, definitely wasn't worth that, but I'm wondering, I'd have to watch it back. I didn't catch where the rest of the team was, but it's weird that only the Zeratul was mid to deny that.
Yeah, they had more there for a while, so that was interesting.
Your team has destroyed a fort.
Bottom fort falls there. 13's about to be online for Arrogant Nephalem. They've got a talent tier advantage, and it looks like they're roaming up mid to take this mid fort too.
Yep, about 27 seconds left on the Dragon Knight. They could definitely take out this fort. Comes Zeratul.
Good peel again.
On Diablo. Let's see if they can collapse on Segatai. Oh, huge damage onto Phoenix. Zeratul falls as well.
Yeah, they stuck in that fight for a little too long. Got a little greedy.
Cocoon out on Urel. Defensive Cocoon.
Yeah, secured the disengage. He only lost 2. It's not the end of the world, but they're still over level behind, and they're going to have to find some experience somewhere quick.
Arrogant Nephalem is going to take advantage of their numbers and steal this siege camp.
Yeah, it's a great call. They're up in heroes and in the talent tier, so take that. And I'm a little surprised they didn't just use that opportunity with the split lane pressure to take that mid fort.
Yeah, it did seem kind of like they were posturing for that, but then changed their mind. They're gonna go grab the bottom bruiser camp instead.
Yep. So one thing you can always ask yourself at home when you're playing Heroes of the Storm is like, why are we taking this keep? Or this fort? Why are we taking this camp or whatever? And it seemed like that time they just kind of took it because it was there, rather than to take it to sake some other future objective.
We've got a gank attempt onto Kime on the Urel in the top lane.
Oh, she's so tanky. It's tough when you're down that talent tier still, but now 13's reached, and Zeratul, that power level, just going to start coming through. He's going to have a lot more sustain in fights now with those mending strikes. Could get tasty.
The shrines awaken once more.
Speaking of Zeratul, sneaking in, looking for an engage here.
Yeah, they've absolutely got it. There's a Starfall. Looks like Riptire's coming through.
Oh, what a beautiful silence by Stukov. Helping Fake News Nate get out on the Zeratul.
Aggressive jump forward by the Rel. Anu whiffs his burrow charge, and it looks like Virtual Murky Slayers have made it out. It's a bummer for them, though. That was really a fight they were kind of looking for on the even talent tier.
Yeah. Arrogant Nephalem getting real close to level 16, and they'll have an advantage for quite a while with almost... Well, it's about a 2-level lead, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, this game is starting to feel a frightening amount like the last game, where, you know, it was a solid lead, but not...
Oh.
Hold on a minute. Gate coming out onto the Zeratul. Looks like he's going to be able to use the blinks to get away. And now Urel in full retreat.
Oh, rooted in silence, but she's going to be fine.
She's still got 2,000 health to give. She'll be just fine.
Meanwhile, Arrogant Nephalem did get that middle fort. Big fight here in the middle, in the jungle.
Seabrisket gets just blown away, and Silver King's going to suffer a similar fate. Oh, excellent Cocoon. Maybe he won't.
3-man VP, just a defensive one. The unfortunate thing is virtual Murky Slayers, they keep having to use their heroics defensively. And that makes it kind of difficult to make something happen.
Max Zillion just told us nice cast. Thanks so much, Max.
Yeah, thank you. Urel working on the bruisers. Wow! He got it again!
That was super speedy, and this guy's making a beeline for bot keep. I'm real worried for Virtual Murky Slayers. This is absolutely going to be keep and maybe game.
There's no, it's going to be quite a while before we've got Void Prison up again for Zeratul.
Oh no. They do have the Cocoon, though.
Yes. They have everything but that. Got all heroics online for Arrogant Nephalem. Here comes Trabe on the Tychus.
Yeah, he's popped that Odin. Seabiscuit's shield is down. He's not taking any health damage yet, and the keep's about to fall. Newbrack Bro charges in aggressively. Starfall used to cancel that charge.
Oh, Seabrisket! Oh!
Goomba stomp there from Kime.
Dragon Knight actually starting to hit the core. Shields are coming down. Noob diving in.
Oh.
Oh, it just gets obliterated. Here's Zeratul. VP is available, but Zeratul's going to be taken out before he can use it.
Yeah, too much CC. Can't VP when you're dead.
And I think that's going to do it, Cody. Arrogant Nephalem moving on to the finals.
Very solid game by them. That one was just absolutely dominant. With last game, I harped on them a little bit for not being willing to end the game, and that time they 100% committed. They just right-clicked on the core and took the game.
That was great. Getting that Zeratul before he could VP that core was pretty clutch there. Taking a look at the stats, by the way.
Yeah, if you would have told me before the game that Varian was going to be top damage, I would have laughed at you. Top damage on his team.
You're right. Take a look at that Dekiladin.
Good work.
Very well done, 4-0. 8 kills to 1 in favor of Arrogant Nephalem. I think it felt like to me that Arrogant Nephalem just did such a great job of keeping Virtual Murky Slayers off balance, so they can never really do their full engaging combination, very well. They had to use a lot of their heroics defensively. It felt like they were just a little bit on their back foot for a lot of this game on Dragonshire.
Yeah, and just being the levels up, they had a beefy comp to begin with. Then you get those 12% worth of stats on top of that, and there was just no way the Virtual Murky Slayers were going to be able to blow up pretty much anyone on Arrogant Nephalem. The only target of reasonable size was Tyrande, and she was behind such beefy tanks that she was never going to get got.
Yeah, and that Colossus smash was just devastating to Phoenix. Mainly to Phoenix is what I was seeing. To others as well, but really seemed to be focusing on Phoenix really hard.
Yeah, both Phoenix and Zeratul had tough games. They had 3 deaths apiece. Just never really able to get going.
Right. So, with that being said, I am going to see if we can get an interview with the captain of Arrogant Nephalem.
Josh Sill made a good point in chat too that virtual Murky Slayers lost before they got their 16s, and like it's kind of said at the beginning of the game, 16 is really when Zeratul comes fully online.
Yeah.
So good job by Arrogant Nephalem, just steamrolling through that game.
Yeah, they never reached 16. You're right. Arrogant Nephalem just kept pulling away in the levels, and it's so hard to come back when you're down talent levels. I mean, it's really tough. But well played, definitely, by both teams. Virtual and Murky Slayers played awesome. Is this a trade?
Yes, it is. Hello, hello.
Hi, congrats.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling now that you've got your second playoff game under your belt?
We're feeling pretty good overall. It's 2 games in a row where we knew the other team was going to be really good, where we knew they were going to give us some trouble. We were able to make some plans before and go in pretty confident, and luckily enough, we've been on a pretty good streak so far.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to game 1, well, first of all, we noticed when we were doing some research for Virtual Murky Slayers that they play a lot of specialists. Did that weigh on your guys' mind at all while you were in the drafts, or did you not worry too much about their specialists?
It seems like they pretty much have 2 modes, which is like either a Nubarak and Zeratul, and we dive you and we blow you up, or we play like 4 specialists and a Medivh and just go crazy and meme all over the place and still win. So we weren't sure which of the 2 we would be seeing tonight.
Yeah.
Because both are pretty effective and have been throughout the season. I guess we saw a little bit of one game 1 and a little bit of the other team game 2.
Yeah, exactly. They came out definitely with a different strategy in game 2. So game 1, I was a little worried for you guys at first when I saw Virtual Murky Slayers pick up that Asmodean. Were you guys nervous about that at all?
I don't want to say I was angry at the rest of my team. But I will say that it is rare that my team and I have substantial differences of opinion on like what we should draft.
Yeah.
And I wanted to pick that Asmodean more than I've ever wanted to do anything in my entire life. And they told me that I could not because they wanted the Kerrigan, and I was so mad. So yeah, we figured they were going to pick it if we didn't take it up. And on Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's super scary.
Yeah.
We knew we just had to play really aggressive from the start, because if he got stacked, he was going to start chunking half of our hit points with every globe. And luckily, we got to the point where that did start happening, but we had a keeper 2 down at that point, so we sort of had a little bit of breathing room. We just got some lucky early ganks, managed to keep the pressure on him.
Yeah, game 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you guys did a really impressive job with your web weavers, your early web weavers, taking out the top fort and the bottom fort so early in the game. It really opened up the map and allowed you to really put some pressure on.
Yeah, for sure. It just, we don't play the super aggro comp all that often, but if a Kerrigan is on the table, then we might as well pick it up and give it a shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, just push bot lane. We know they knew that with the Asmo low stacked and with the Rexar and stuff, that just early game they couldn't fight us. They wanted to play the macro game, so we just needed to go in, let Kerrigan do her thing. Kime was able to deliver.
Yeah, we were surprised at the Rexar pick. What were you thinking when you saw that pick? Did it concern you at all, or were you expecting it?
We were a little confused at the time, but thinking about it, I think it does kind of make sense as a little bit of an off-brand Kerrigan counter if you sort of know what you're doing and you're comfortable on the hero. That you kind of get the stuns in and all that disruption without really having to get too close to the fight and risk all your gems. And yeah, we killed the bear a couple of times, but I don't think we actually got Rexar himself till really late in the game.
I think I cried out in horror every time Misha died. I was like, no, Misha!
Yeah, we were wishing that we were wondering if we kill Misha, we should get half the gems. It's not fair. We were putting in this effort and the gems nowhere to be found. But yeah, they did a good job with it. I think Rexar had like 40 gems at one point, just running around on the edges. We never even see the dude, and his stupid bear is over here hitting us.
I think he had 50 at some point, if I remember right. Cody, do you have any questions about game 1?
Yeah, I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You guys took your time ending the game. Why were you guys holding off so long on taking boss when you guys had level 20 advantage?
Because I think it was that my team said, go, 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 we're 20, we can end. And we started going, and I said, but Asmodean's scary. Don't go to the Asmodean. Like, it's 1v4, but he's big. He has all these globes, and they really hurt, and I don't want that.
So the Asmodean was kind of a sore spot for you and your team all
Yeah,
game.
but I mean, also, like, even late game, even if we have a catapult and a wave, you walk up to Asmodean, now you don't have a catapult and a wave. And, like, we had a lot of siege damage, but it wasn't really enough to just go in there and whack on the core unsupported. We probably should have just gone and taken the boss right at the start, rather than pushing all the way to core and then turning around and going all the way back and then sort of baiting boss like 3 times. But I guess that's hindsight for you.
Oh, that's too funny.
That was my main question about game 1.
Yeah, they did it. Virtual Murky Slayers, I felt like did a pretty good job actually in the late game of game 1. They were able to come and kind of stop you guys on the boss, and it looked like they were going to be able to put up a fight, but at the end of the day, there was just too much pressure, I think, in all their lanes, because you guys had, keeps down at that point, and it's just so hard to come back from that.
Yeah, we just had that late game comp is very, very scary, and we knew it. When we're fighting them late game, we want to have minions on their core every time, or these fights might not go so well for us. So yeah, we got lucky making sure that could happen early, did some good web weaver stuff, and managed to pull it off.
Nice. Now, game 2, you guys got to choose the map, and how did you decide on Dragonshire? Because it sounded like you guys were kind of going back and forth between various different choices.
We had a really good game plan, and it was... Well, my team will get mad if I tell you the whole game plan.
Okay, no, don't tell. Don't give away any trade secrets.
Yeah. So I'll say we had a game plan, and then what we saw in game 1 made us say, this plan's no good.
Okay.
We don't want to do this plan anymore.
You're like,
so suddenly we had to hastily switch maps and come up with a new scheme and figure out what we were doing. So maybe next round you'll get to see what we were thinking of doing here. But
nice.
Yeah, Dragonshire is a map that we played a lot on. It's a map that we were pretty comfortable on. And we knew that we were going to be almost certainly banning the Asmodean, so we were a little bit less worried about having it be a bigger macro map.
Yeah, so in game 1, you guys did some target bans on the Zeratul and the Anubarak. In game 2, you changed your strategy probably after what you saw, like you said, in game 1. You didn't want them to get some of those things like Asmo and Kerrigan and things like that. When you saw them pop onto the Anub and the Zeratul, were you like, uh-oh?
Yeah, it's what they beat us with last time we played them. I've never been more tilted, I think, in a game of HOTS in my life than the last time that we played Virtual Murky Slayers. And I was a sad little Gul'dan, and they just dove me over and over again and just erased me off the map like 6 times.
So you're like, the one thing I'm not doing is I'm not playing Gul'dan.
Yeah, let me look at health bars. Who has good health and has like armor they can get? We know that they like that combo. We didn't feel like we could ban it out and let them have all the really strong meta heroes, so we just figured we had to kind of draft around it and be ready. So we just grabbed a big front line, grabbed some people that could burn down the Anub when he came in, and kind of hope for the best.
Yeah, and I actually kind of, when you were down to your 5th and final pick, I was like, oh, Varian would probably be good here, but you guys at that point already had the Urel and Diablo, and I'm like, oh yeah, they probably won't do it because that would mean that they have 3 warriors. And then you guys were like, boom.
We were thinking the same thing, but then they locked Phoenix, and we were like, well, now we gotta.
Yeah.
Now we have to do it. It's a counter that's super strong. We felt pretty confident we could deal with the Anub and the Zera already just through the Tychus damage and the Diablo. So having an opportunity for someone to dive in and pressure their backline a little bit. Felt we couldn't give it up, and the Kil'jaeden is always happy to pick up the Colossus Smash. So
yeah, it was pretty impressive. I think that Phoenix player may be having some nightmares tonight. Of
it's a very good impression.
Coming for your
very
face.
accurate.
Cody, what are your questions for that second game?
Yeah, my first question is, you talked about picking a hero with armor, and I noticed you didn't take either of the armor talents that Tychus has at 7 and 13 there. What were your thoughts? What were you thinking on your build there?
We locked the Tychus early because we were assuming they were just going to go super heavy dive, and I figured if I get hit by an Anubarak, anything, I'm exploded. They ended up going with a little bit more of a poke comp with the Phoenix or the Junkrat, so it turned out that I thought I could probably get away without needing the full armor. I could just rely on my tanks to peel for me and play back a little bit more.
Fair enough.
So my job was basically just hang out and wait quietly, and then use Bigger They Are on a new Barak, and then leave and don't die. So the rest of the build was just sort of poking with grenades, hanging back, not put myself in a dangerous situation to let Zeratul get too crazy on me or get flipped around by Junkrat too much.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, you played super safe, so much so that your variant outdamaged you. Was there any John in the comms after the game?
Dak usually outdamages me. It doesn't matter what I play. It doesn't matter what she plays. She's Ragnaros, and I'm over here on any carry assassin in the game, and she just like, oh yeah, beat you by 5k. I'm pretty sure game 1 I was like level 12 or 13 and had no quest damage at all for Jaina.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I am not the best at positioning all of the time, so I play a little safer maybe. Dekilden has a very different opinion on positioning and where our hero should be at any given moment. So she's pretty naturally in a situation where she can get a lot more damage out. If I stay alive and I'm able to get a kill or two, I'm pretty happy with that at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was a little surprised to not see any Ragnaros from you guys this game. Was that just you weren't feeling it this game, or is there maybe something else afoot?
We like the Ragnaros. We sort of considered it both games. Dak is probably our most flexible player. We tend to save her picks towards last just because you can kind of fill in our comp a lot. And the way the draft was shaping up, it didn't seem like Ragnaros was the right pick. We need a little bit more tankiness, a little more dive, and she likes to go in the meteor meatball build, throwing out spells from afar.
Gotcha.
So we still love the Ragnaros, just was not the time for it today.
Cool.
Fair
That's all I've
enough.
got. Thanks.
So we were looking at the bracket earlier. I'm going to pull it up again real quick just so people can see where we're at. So it looks like your next match will be against the winner between Sidestep and Tickle Me Tassadar. Do you have any preferences on which one you face?
My gut says that I don't want to face Sidestep, but that's because we just played Sidestep. So the scariness of their team is more fresh in my mind. We played Tickle Me Tassadar, I think maybe week 1 or 2. It was a little further back. And I think we drew with both of them. So either match that we get is going to be a really good game. We're going to have to do a lot of prep work and go in there pretty prepared. I don't think either of them have any critical weaknesses or any one hero that we can't deal with. So it should be some good games regardless of how it goes.
Yeah, I'm guessing you guys will be watching that series pretty closely to prepare. Awesome. Well, Cody, do you have any more questions for Trabe?
No, just good luck moving forward, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So before we let you go, Trabe, the floor is yours. If you have any shout outs or comments you'd like to make.
Shout outs as always to Beast Coast, our sister team over in B East. Great team. They've been out here. They've had a great season. It was fun to watch them. They've been in our in chat for a lot of our games, cheering us on and memeing it up. So we're always glad to see them there. They usually are fairly critical of our play, so it gives us some great points to go back and notice where we can improve on from where Twitch chat is yelling at us.
Nice.
And besides that, shout outs to Jamison Crowder, wide receiver, who went out there and scored a nice 9 points today. Got me the win in my fantasy football team, which I did not think I was going to get. Up to 4-1. So,
It's just a great
doing
night
pretty
for
well.
you, all
Yeah,
around.
I got a win in both things that I do, and I got a frozen pizza here in front of me that tastes pretty good. So can't ask for more than that.
Life is good.
I'm a simple man. I have simple pleasure.
Well, congratulations again to you and all of your teammates, and looking forward to seeing that matchup next week.
Yeah, it'll be sometime then. Hopefully you guys will be casting. If not, thanks for casting tonight, and we'll see you when we see you, I guess. But
Heck yeah, I'm sure it'll be
Been
one
good.
of us. We're following
It'll be
Div C pretty
somebody.
closely. Yeah.
We'll save some memes for you. Make sure to bust out some wacky comps. Maybe Murky will finally get his day.
I was expecting to see it in this match. I mean, you were playing the virtual Murky Slayer. So that's why you didn't play Murky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Sense.
that thing was going to get destroyed. That's their whole thing.
You're like,
Playing
I
right
can't
into
play
their
Murky.
No,
We'll
no.
slay him. That's awesome. Well, take care, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks again for
All right.
casting.
Bye, Trabe. All right. So we did it.
Yeah.
We know one of the teams in the finals for Div C West. And I don't think the other game is scheduled yet, so it'll be sometime later this week to find out who it is that Arrogant Nephalem is going to be facing in the finals.
Yeah, hopefully they don't schedule it for tomorrow. But we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. They have, I think, through Saturday, I believe. So everybody definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be a great matchup as well. Cody, where can people find you? And feel free to give any shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to you. Thanks for having me on. I had a blast. Swing got me into this casting game. It was my first cast ever last time I was here, so excited to be back. You can find me at twitch.tv/CodyKraz. It's probably below my face down there. At least that's the, Twitch/ whatever it says below my face there is great. Yeah, shoot me a follow. I'll be bringing you more NGS action as the season goes on. And yeah, shout out to anyone who watched us today. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, Cody is definitely I always call him Cody. It's Cody Kraz. that's the
great.
long version. But yeah, he's doing a great job. I think this is your first season ever casting, right?
Yep.
And you've improved a ton and you're doing awesome. So well done. Can't wait to see you next season and throughout the playoffs as we continue on in the NGS playoffs here for season 5. So for me, you guys can find me at SwingTime Gaming on Twitter or at twitch.tv/SwingTime here on Twitch. And thank you so much, everybody in Twitch chat who stayed up so late to watch the end of that series. I know it's pretty late for some of you East Coasters especially. And thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. And that will do it for us. Cody, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciated having you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.